Welcome, Namaste, Kambagadi. The fort, which is indeed connected with a lot of supernatural stories, myths, legends, and paranormal activities. The fort, which is considered to be the most haunted place of Asia and is amongst the top most haunted places in the world. Yes, it is the Bhangarh Fort. Old forts, deaths, accidents, pasts, and spirits have their own relation and coincidence. Any place where spirits roam as a symbol of death, people cannot overcome their fear. A world which is mysterious and unknown to everyone leaves us all amazed and confused. One such place that has made all bewildered is the haunted fort of Bhangarh. Situated in Rajasthan, the fort was built and constructed in the late 17th century. It was built on the borders of Sariska Reserve in the Aravalli range of hills in the Alwar district of Rajasthan. The nearest village to the fort is Gola Kabas. Fort was built on a steep slope located on the foot of the hills. It was built in the aegis of Man Singh I, who was considered to be one of the Navrats of Akbar's court. According to the Archaeological Survey of India, the fort was built for Man Singh's younger son, Madho Singh or Bhan Singh. The haunted fort and its presence are well preserved by the Indian Archaeological Department. It is surrounded by mountains all around and is filled with marvelous architecture. Consisting a ton of temples, graves, rooms and prison cabins, the fort is indeed a beauty in itself. But what is the history behind it and why is it amongst one of the most haunted places around the world? There are two stories that people have heard about the haunted fort. First one being the Emperor Madho Singh built the city after attaining the approval of Guru Balunath, an ascetic who used to meditate there. The saint gave his approval on the condition that the shadow of the emperor's palace should never fall on his retreat. If in case it did, the city would crumble into ruins. Once the construction was completed, the retreat of Guru Balunath was unfortunately shadowed by the palace. Having incurred the saint's wrath, Bhangarh immediately transformed into a cursed city and could never be rebuilt as no structure ever managed to survive in it. But here's an interesting thing, the tomb of Guru Balunath can still be found amongst the ruins. The tomb of Sadhu Balunath is indeed situated at the topmost point of the fort. People around the fort refer it as the Tomb of Curse. Earlier, there were steps to go up and witness the tomb, but suddenly, on 23rd June 2008, the steps were all shattered due to a massive earthquake. Now the tomb is left alone and no one can climb up there to witness it. This was one story that is being told to us by the locals. It is strictly prohibited to go to the fort after 5 p.m. There are signboards which instructs not to do it. People who have managed to get inside the fort in the night hours have their own stories to share. One such story is shared by a couple who went to witness the fort on 17th January 2011. According to his statement to the police, he got inside by bribing the guard on duty. He was accompanied by 4 of his friends, Naveen, Rahul, Gaurav and Madhur. All of them stayed at the fort until 2 a.m. At 2:27 a.m. in the night, they experienced a woman crying at the distance of a mere kilometer. They rushed to exit the fort and got into their car, but unfortunately had an accident which killed all the 4 friends, leaving Kapil half paralyzed. There are black magics continuously being held at the fort every day. People have booked their slots at the earliest of a week to get their loved ones, relatives or friends be treated from the possession of a demon. The ascetic who sits there to treat people from demons and spirits is blind and is said to be from the family of Guru Balunath, who was the reason of the curse to the city of Bhangarh. There is another story connected to the fort. The story is of one-sided love that turned into obsession. The tale of Rani Ratnavati, whose beauty, it is said, was unmatchable in whole of Rajasthan. A local black magician fell in love with her beauty and tried to bewitch a cosmetic she was supposed to use to make her fall in love with him. The princess smelled suspicion and foiled the entire conspiracy of the black magician by pouring the bewitched cosmetic over a massive rock, which then supposedly crushed the tantric to death. But when he was counting his last breath, he cursed the entire landscape that no soul would be ever able to live there in peace. And since then, the entire landscape around the fort is haunted. There is a well inside the third room to the first left of the entrance to the fort, which is reported to have been a reason of death to 7 people. According to the archaeologists from the ASI, the well is in a dark place, and due to camouflage, it is very difficult to spot that there is a hole in the ground. The ASI has barricaded the room with chains and plastic boards, but still, it is very easy to get inside the room as the height of the barricades are very less. According to the local sayings, the well is considered to be a hell's gate and is endless in depth. The reason for the prohibition of entering the place after sunset and before sunrise is not even close to what people say. The village definitely appears gloomy when you see the now empty rows of houses, bungalows, temples, markets, and forts, and reflects on how a place once bustling with activities, songs, and dance lies desolate. But people, especially the localites, have took it to another level by saying that if you enter this place, you will never return. But what about the incidences, the experiences that people talk about? Were they really true, or were they just an addition to the rumors of Bhangarh being haunted? Well, this is India, and here, if we can believe in God, then we can even start believing in spirits. Because with every positive thing comes a negative thing too. So if you are still curious about the fort being haunted or not, go and experience it on your own.
So this was our experience of Bhangarh Fort, and we found nothing which is chilling and haunting in nature. But that all depends on your brain, whether you find something or you don't. It is all upon your opinions, whether you consider these things supernatural or these are just myths and folklore for you. This is Devang Singh Bhadoria signing off.